Well, thank you, everyone. I know that the hour is late, and there's a lot you could say and a lot that won't be said. But let me just say a few things, because that's the way we roll, right? But first of all, to the 6 of you here tonight, as well as to Todd and to Jay, I can't really imagine a group of people that I would rather tackle. We don't necessarily tackle tough issues in the sense of like brain surgery kinds of issues. We tackle thorny issues sometimes. Many times it's routine stuff, boring stuff even. But there are times when we tackle thorny things and things that there's no clear consensus. And I've always been impressed, especially with this group of 9, how we're able to get things done without getting on each other to get them done. One of the great things I think that we've established as a culture, and I certainly didn't start it, came before me and probably more than a couple mayors before, was this idea that, you know what, when you have a vote here, you take it seriously and you vote your conscience and sort of the way you think your constituents ask you to vote, and we don't take it personally. You know, most of you screwed up tonight on that Centennial Park snowmelt thing, but I like you anyway. Just kidding. And that's just one extremely small indicator of the fact that we really do have a collegial council. And I remember when I first joined up, and Bob, I had no recollection you voted against me on that one. All I remember about that night, really, at the end of the day, was there was the ceremonial unanimous vote at the end. And I remember there were a couple of votes ahead of time that, you know, first time around I think there was no clear winner, then maybe the second or third time. But the only thing I really remember that night is the fact that at the end of the day, once I got the 5 votes, then after that there was kind of a ceremonial unanimous decision, and I took that as, you know, a good sign. That regardless of how the vote had happened earlier, this is the way we're going to be moving forward. You know, in addition to all of you, if you think about it, 10.5 years or so with lightly compensated, relatively high demand kinds of things that we have to do as members of council. I've only also served with Sean Miller on an interim basis, Victor Orozco, of course, our good man Jerome Thomas Kobus, Linda Falstead for a bit, and then of course the 2 pillars, the 2 legends, Craig Rich and Al McGeehan. So that really rounds out the entirety of the members of council and mayors that I served with, which really is not that big a number when you think about it. And I think that's also a testament to the fact that we have had pretty good success as a city of picking good people to be on this body. And I have no doubt that that tradition will continue. You know, Dave, you said it, I think, best, and I've sort of phrased it slightly differently with the same theme. You know, we take it seriously, but not too seriously. We understand that we do important work and serious work, but at the end of the day, we're hired to be members of a council and not to be the persons doing the day-to-day operation. That leads me then to just a brief comment on our staff. 2 city managers, actually, I guess technically 3 city managers, Soren for a long period of time, Greg on an interim basis, and then Ryan in more recent years. Tough to imagine 3 better managers, CEOs of the organization. You know, there's the old joke, there are 2 kinds of city managers, those who have been fired and those who have yet to be fired. And yet with our 3, I can think of no real way that we would ever want to see them depart from us. They provided good, creative, steady leadership, and you know, many of us came into this role, or certainly served in this role, during some pretty tough times. I think we emerged strongly, in part because of things we did, ultimate decisions, but in part because we were given good information, good suggestion, and I think good guidance from our senior staff. So great city managers, great department heads. You think of the turnover that's happened there, and just some remarkable people who've retired and some remarkable people who've come into the organization. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way, winding way, is that the city is certainly more than one person, and we've been blessed in this place to have really, really good leadership for a long time. And I am confident that that is going to continue. Then a word to you at home, in the audience, watching wherever. And I'll try and look at the camera, though it's kind of a weird angle to do so, and it feels kind of odd, especially since the monitor's right below, so you always want to kind of dart down and look at yourself in the TV monitor. But let me just first and foremost say a sincere thank you to you for entrusting me for more than 10 years. First on the council as the 5th Ward member, and then after that as mayor. I know for a fact that for many of you, you've disagreed with me on some issues, and probably some pretty vehemently. And yet, for the most part, people don't take it personally. Just like we're able to function well, I think that people in this community, by and large, believe that we entrust the members of council to govern, and they may not always be right, but at least I think most people understand that we come at it from a good will, and we try to do our best. It's been a privilege to be here. We've done some pretty great things in this community, and I've been fortunate and privileged to really have been along for some of that ride. A couple of visits from a president, building a power plant. Boy, the list can go on. And for me, I think one of the most satisfying things is figuring out a way to make this place sustainable in the long run. It's not exciting. It's not going to have any sort of plaque on it that will last into time immemorial. But at the end of the day, we know that we're not going to have an emergency financial manager. We know we're not going to have to file bankruptcy. We know that really we have made the tough choices to get this place, to get the organization to a place where we think we can be sustainable in the long run. No small feat, and I think overall we've done it pretty well in a way that the general public probably doesn't really realize all the changes that have been done, which to me is probably the best sign of the good leadership that we've been given by senior staff and some of the good decisions we've made as a council. So we're leaving, and little by little there's been all these lasts, last parade, last tulip time, last this, last that. This was one of those that I really was not looking forward to in the least, the last meeting. It's always been fun most of the time, been fun to be here at council meetings and to spend time with all of you and to try and provide good decisions for the people of this city. And so here we are at the end of it. So thank you very much. And one final thing that I'll say, and those of you listening in life who are married, those of us up here who have the privilege of being married, understand that the kinds of things that we do here are not done alone. Sure, our name's on the ballot and our vote's on the line, and we're the ones whose names get plastered on television or YouTube or wherever. But there's always that somebody at home who also has to bear some of the brunt of what it is that we do, and some of the brunt of us bearing what it is that we do. And so for Leah in particular, and for Juliana and for Emma, a very hearty and sincere thanks to them. They certainly know that I love them dearly, but I want them also to know that clearly this would not have been something that I could have done or would have done absent their support throughout the past decade. So Bob, I don't really ever use it, but come July 1, this baby's yours. So we'll just keep it right in the little holder here. I don't know how many people even know that we actually have a gavel, and it's actually got a little nameplate on it that says City of Holland. So we'll just set it up here, and it's yours for the using to fill out the term, and I have every confidence that you'll do a great job for the next few months, to be sure. You might want to talk with Mayor Hartwell about getting that golden gavel back. I don't know what happened to it, but of course you might not, actually, since you're a Calvin guy. You might like to stay in Grand Rapids, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words tonight, for sure, but also more importantly for your friendship and really just the great partnership that we've been able to develop over these years, facing the issues that we face. I appreciate it very much.
We do have to vote yet.
Fair point. Take the gavel back.
Call for a roll call.
I guess. All right. So no, we're going to do an all in favor, baby. We're just going to do a voice vote on this one, I think, or do we have to do a roll call on this?
It's a resolution, roll call.
Roll call, I guess. All right. All right.
That's why we've got a turn.
That's right. Those lawyers. What are you going to do with them? Anna, please call the roll.
That's the last time I'm going to do that. Birch.
Yes.
Vandemus
Yes.
Dykstra,
Yes.
Blunkern,
Yes.
DeVore,
Yes.
Chippy Lee,
Yes.
Mayor Dykstra.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We have one thing left to do.
Mr.
Motion-
Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I'm going
Trethewey.
to ask to bend Robert's rules just a little bit
All right.
and allow you to make a final motion.
All right. Holding all of what I said earlier right here in my heart, to all of you and all of you, move that we adjourn.
Support.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We do stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone, and thank you.